What's going on? Mitchell Renz here from Chat Sports, and let's talk a little bit about j.j.watt because he was released by the Houston Texans. Now, I get it. This is a Miami Dolphins channel, but you know what? We like to talk about the trending topics going on in the NFL and how it could potentially impact the Dolphins. So on today's show, I'm going to walk you through the latest on Watt, and I'm going to tell you whether or not the Miami Dolphins should maybe even give this guy a call and how likely it is that he signs with the team. So let's walk through everything that happened. The Houston Texans, they decided to move on, not from just one of their best players on their team, but literally a face to their franchise. And after 10 seasons, he's going to be repping a New Jersey. Will it be some Miami's colors? Well, stay tuned. So he had 1 year left on his deal, $17.5 million left. The Houston Texans have decided to save this money and move on from JJ. Now, on Friday, he officially became a free agent. What does that mean exactly? It technically means if the Miami Dolphins wanted to call him up right now after they see this video and bring him on in, they could technically do it. I anticipate him to take his time to be able to figure out where he ultimately does want to go. So how about this, though? Look at his last 4 seasons and the type of production that this dude's been able to put up. Because I remember growing up, and I'm in high school, college, watching j.j.watt just absolutely wreck defenses, kind of a lot of the way that Aaron Donald does now. But in 2020, I'm going to give him a shout out. Over 1,000 snaps played, which is something that he just has not been able to do because he's been battling a lot of injuries. Now, if you're telling me right now, can you get the 2018 version of j.j.watt? Just about every single NFL team is going to be interested. But for him, he wants to be able to go to contender, and how well he's going to be able to play and where he's going to fit, I really do believe is going to be a big impact on that. So go down to the comment section. Let me know. That's what we do here at Chat Sports. Should the Dolphins go out and sign j.j.watt? I want every single person that comes across this video, maybe you see it on YouTube, maybe you see it on Facebook. I don't really care where you see it. I want you to interact with me. So should the Dolphins sign j.j.watt? I want you to type S for sign, or I want you to type P for pass. So let's look at the NFL free agency period here. It starts March 17th. I understand it, that's when it starts. But since Watt was officially cut by the Houston Texans, he can sign with any team literally now, 2 days from now. It doesn't matter. When you look at the 2021 NFL salary cap, it's $180.5 million. About 2 weeks ago, it was around $176 million. So the fact that teams like the Miami Dolphins have a few extra dollars to play with, they're already in a good situation. Currently the 9th most cap space, $27.89 million. But at the end of the day, if you can figure out a way to build your team better, you can do that. Speaking of free agency, we're going to be giving you guys updated here. Tons and tons of free agency videos, tons of draft videos, the latest news and rumors. This is one of the fastest growing channels at Chat Sports. So I salute you. I clap a little bit here. But if you guys are already subbed, awesome job. If you haven't yet and you continue to find yourself looking for the latest news and rumors around the Dolphins, or if you just want to have some fun and some more free videos, hit that big red button, and if you have sub, take that link that you see below and send it to some friends. So should the Miami Dolphins go out and call j.j.watt? Yeah, they absolutely should call j.j.watt. They're not doing their job unless they pick up the phone and j.j.watt answers and they're like, "What? You want me on the team?" "Yeah, JJ, I do." So perfect fit with this defense. He can play 3-4. He can play a 4-3 scheme, which is exactly what the Miami Dolphins do. I loved how versatile they were this past year. And plus, if you're looking at a young team that just went 10-6, not that they fell apart near the end of the season, but you could see that they were a young team. You bring in a tough dude like j.j.watt, I challenge a guy like Christian Wilkins to look j.j.watt in the eye and say, "No, I ain't doing that." Guess what? You are going to do it because he demands that type of respect, and that's what he would be able to bring to a very good team and to a team that is still looking to get better. Now, one of the avenues that where this team did succeed, especially in 2020, was being able to get after the quarterback where they had 41 sacks, 10th most. Now, I don't know if that was so much to do with the defensive line or if it was more to do with Byron Jones and X on the outsides and they could just bring the house because nobody could get open. But in 2019, 2018, and 2017, major issues there. You insert j.j.watt to this front, no disrespect to Seiler, no disrespect to Wilkins or Agba. But this past year, J.J. Watt, according to Pro Football Focus, was ranked the 7th best edge rusher. He could be an edge rusher. You could put him at nose tackle. You could throw him all over the defensive line. If you can just add a little bit more versatility to your defense, why the hell not? So here's the 2021 AFC East, right? I want to know in the comments section, who's going to end up winning the division? Obviously, the Buffalo Bills, 13-3 record this past year. They won it. So if you think that the Bills are going to win it again, type BUF. Maybe you're going to go with the New England Patriots. I really question why you're watching this show, but hey, type NE. If you had a few drinks over the weekend, I'm right there with you. Type NYJ. But if you're going to go with the Miami Dolphins, and I anticipate a lot of MIAs in the comments, so don't disappoint me. Don't let the Chat Sports team down. If you think they're going to win it, type MIA. So here's right now the current AFC East odds in 2021. Like, who's going to win this division? The Buffalo Bills minus 200. The Miami Dolphins plus 270. The Patriots plus 425. And yeah, that team down there in the green, I shouldn't even put them up on screen. So how about this, though? This is where I'm trying to get to here. If you had J.J. Watt, is Miami the best team in the AFC East? Why for yes and for no? If you're sitting there saying, yeah, Mitch, they are the best team in the AFC East with J.J. Watt, I'm sorry, then you pick up the phone, you call him, maybe even put him on speed dial to try to get him in Miami. If you're like, well, I still don't know, then hey, maybe you don't end up calling him at all. Now, if your girlfriend's not calling you, maybe it's because you didn't get her anything for Valentine's Day. Don't be that douche. Go to chatsports.com/flowers. 15% off all flowers and gifts, even chocolates. I'm not a professional being able to give out gifts. It's a fact. If it was my job, I would be on the streets. I wouldn't have a job. Luckily, Pro Flowers, they're going to be able to hook you up here. Chatsports.com/flowers. I'm going to put that link in the comments and in the description. Maybe she doesn't like flowers. Maybe she wants a charcuterie board. Luckily, that's not the link because chatsports.com/charcuterie board would be a pain to spell. Luckily, we made it a lot easier for y'all. Bottom line is this, 15% off all flowers and gifts. Show your loved ones that you care. 2020 was a hell of a year, and if all you could do is just show them with a little bubble bath, I mean, you might even get something out of that from yourself. But seriously, show your loved ones that you care. Chatsports.com/flowers. I bet you J.J. Watt's getting his girlfriend something special for Valentine's Day. So is J.J. going to end up coming to the Miami Dolphins? I'll be honest with y'all. I don't think it's very likely for multiple reasons. I think that he wants to go a few other avenues. There was a report out there that he's already said that he actually doesn't want to play with his brothers in Pittsburgh, which does surprise me a little bit. But should the Dolphins be interested? Yes, they should. The real question is this. Does J.J. Watt consider the Miami Dolphins contender? Because he wants to play with a contender, and at age 31, going to be 32 years old, he's made plenty of money. There's no doubt about that. It really comes down to this. He wants to win football games, he wants to go to the playoffs, and he ultimately wants to win a Super Bowl. I can't blame him for that. Are the Dolphins an up-and-coming team? Yes, they are. But their window might not be now. It might be like 2, 3, 4 years down the road a little bit. So we'll see ultimately where he goes. If you're wondering where J.J. Watt could potentially, get it out of your mouth, Mitch, could potentially go in 2021, here's a video that I put together here. So we broke down the top 5 destinations for J.J. Watt. We also, sprinkled in a few little honorable mentions as well. But if you haven't already subscribed to our Chat Sports channel, I don't know what you're waiting for. We got over 230,000 subs there, dropping new videos every single 3 hours. If you're a Dolphins fan, that's great. But if you're like a diehard NFL fan where you just can't get enough of it, you need it, you wake up every morning, it's like in your veins, we are the channel for you. YouTube.com/chatsportstv. It's the link that you see below. One more time, YouTube.com/chatsportstv. Go ahead and subscribe. Now, let's just say J.J. Watt is on their radar. Here's some other defensive tackle free agents out there on the market. Could he also technically be a defensive end for this Miami defense? Yes, absolutely. But if you're looking for a player like Watt, why not also look at a guy like Leonard Williams, who is pretty solid, Dalvin Tomlinson, another defensive tackle from the New York Giants, and Shelby Harris. So how about this? You got to pick one to sign. I know it's a tough question, but if every question was easy, we wouldn't have a channel here, and talking sports wouldn't be fun whatsoever. So you got to pick one to sign. Are you going to go with Leonard Williams type LW, probably the greatest hair in football since Troy Polamalu, Dalvin Tomlinson type DT? Maybe you're going to go with J.J. Watt. I want you to type J.J. or type Watt, or Shelby Harris. I want you to go down in the comment section and type SH. Now, let's just say you don't want to sign any of those players in free agency. You could also look to the draft. Now, the draft isn't as strong this year as we've seen in the past, at least in terms of defensive line prospects. I like Christian Barmore. He's probably the only player that you see here on this screen that's going to go in round 1. His draft stock is continue to get higher and higher. Daviyon Nixon, that's probably a second-round pick. However, does Miami invest in the draft of the defensive tackle? I'm not 100% sure. But at the end of the day, if you're going to go out and look at a guy like j.j.watt, you got to also be totally sold on he's going to be the right player, not just for this year, maybe 2 years down the road, and really to get you over the hump. And the other reason why I'm pretty confident that Watt could at least get the Dolphins to maybe 11 wins, and I can't even believe they didn't make the playoffs at 10, but could get you over the hump, he's going to demand a lot. This guy is one of the hardest working players in the NFL, and you're not only going to be bringing a good football player, you're going to be bringing in a good dude. I mean, this pastor, I'm trying to think, he was trying to raise, it was like $200,000 after the hurricane for Houston. He ended up raising $37 million. I mean, can we just appreciate everything well that he's ended up doing for the city of Houston? Am I surprised that the Texans let him go? Yes and no, but they just seem to have all sorts of problems. Like the saying, Houston, we have a problem, has never been more real than what it is right now. So if the Miami Dolphins do go up and end up bringing Watt down to Miami, not only are they going to get a great football player, they're also going to get a great person, which I think is really important for a young football team. Now, if you made it this far in the video, I appreciate you. If you haven't already, seriously, drop us a like. It helps us out a ton. And send that link that y'all see below, youtube.com/DolphinsNews, to 5 Big Dolphins fans.